I did it. I did something that I said I wasn't going to do. I bought a Sega Genesis Mini 2. So why did I end up ordering the Sega Genesis Mini 2 when I said I wasn't going to? I don't know, I just thought that in the future these things are going to be so incredibly difficult to get that I probably ought to just go ahead and just bite the bullet and get one now. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed that Snatcher is not on here, but I've heard rumblings of possible hacks to this Mini, so that we can put Snatcher on here, even though I've already got Snatcher on my Sega Genesis Mini 1. So let's go ahead and unbox this puppy and give it a playthrough and see if it's any good. Alright, so before I open this up, let me do a quick comparison. Here is the box for the Sega Genesis Mini 1. It dwarfs the Sega Genesis Mini 2's box. I'm sure Sega saved a lot on packaging by having a much smaller box. Here's the back of the box so you can see what it looks like. Yeah, there's not as much real estate here to put all the games on there like you can on the Genesis 1. Alright, let's do it. Let's open it up. Alright. Here's the HDMI cable, power cable, controller without the packaging, and then here's the Sega Genesis Mini 2. Ah, Genesis Mini 2. Looks pretty nice. Has a little cartridge door like the original does. Of course, we all know by now that the American Sega Genesis 2 did not have a switch. It had a push button, so this is incorrect. Also, didn't it have a light? It does have the little fake door here on the side that you can open up, and this is where the Sega CD would attach to the side. All right, let's get this box out of here. We don't need that. All right. Also, we don't need these cables either. And then here's how the Sega Genesis Mini 2 stacks up size-wise with the Sega Genesis Mini 1. I think it's about an accurate representation. And then here's the controller that came with it. The buttons are a little stiff, but not bad. I mean, it feels pretty accurate to a real Sega Genesis 6-button controller, of which I have right here. This is the real one, and this is the new one. And as far as I can tell, they're pretty much the same. The buttons are a little softer on the real deal, and the control pad is definitely more stiff. Yeah, see how nice and juicy this control pad is, and this one is a little bit stiffer. Also, the new one has the mode button on the top too, just like the original. And then here's how the controller compares with the wireless Retrobit controller. Pretty much the same thing. Wow, I never in my life thought I would have 3 6-button controllers. And then here is the 3-button controller, which came with the Genesis Mini 1. Of course, you got 2 of these with the Genesis Mini 1, whereas you only got 1 of the 6-button controllers in the Genesis Mini 2, which I don't know. It's probably a better deal getting the Genesis Mini 1 because you get 2 controllers, but I mean, you get a different set of games on the Mini 2. But the question is, will the 3-button controller work on the Genesis Mini 2? That's something I'm going to find out. Also, I'd like to see if the 6-button controller here works on the Genesis Mini 1, so we'll be doing some experimentation. What I want to do now is open this guy up and see what secrets lay within. Ooh. I've always enjoyed opening things just to see what it looks like inside. Just pops right open. That was not hard at all. I thought there'd be a clip or something maybe. Oh, okay. All right, can we take this little shield off now that I got the screws out of here? Ah, there we go. There seems to be some kind of a heat guard on the top of this chip here. Here's the Sega Genesis Mini 2 board. And again, some other kind of heat shield underneath of it, preventing me from seeing what the model of the chip is. But I think there's other YouTube channels that have gone the extra mile and taken that part off too, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there's the board for the Sega Genesis Mini 2. All right, it's all back together again. Let's go ahead and try some games. All right, just a quick test to see if the Sega Genesis Mini 2 controller will work on the Sega Genesis Mini 1. Right there. Oh, it even says Sega right there on the side. Let's see if it works. Well, obviously it moves up and down. Yeah, that's great. Of course, we need to try a 6-button game. He punches. He still punches. He still punches. And he kicks. So I would say yes, if you get a Sega Genesis Mini 2 and use the 6-button USB controller on your Mini 1, it'll work just fine. Get me out of here. Save me from Chun-Li. All right, it's the moment of truth. We'll go ahead and turn this guy on. All right, looks like we got a nice collection of games here. Afterburner 2, Alien Soldier, Atomic Runner, Bonsai Brothers, Clay Fighter, Crusader of Senti, Desert Strike, Deviant Pie, Earthworm Jim 2, Echo the Dolphin, Echo the Tides of Time, Elemental Master, Fantasy Zone, Fatal Fury 2, Final Fight CD, which is nice that they have CD games on here, Gain Ground, Golden Axe 2, Granada, Hellfire, Herzog Zwei, Lightning Force, Mansion of Hidden Souls, Midnight Resistance, Night Striker, Night Trap, Outrun, Outrunners, Phantasy Star 2, Populous, that's a weird one, Rainbow Islands Extra, Ranger X, Ristar, Robo Aleste, Rolling Thunder 2, Sewer Shark, Shadow Dancer, Shining Force CD, Shining Force 2, Shining in the Darkness. Well, they like those Shining Force games, don't they? Silpheed, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic CD, Space Harrier 2, Spatter, Splatterhouse 2, Star Mobile, Streets of Rage 3, Super Hang-On, Super Locomotive, Super Street Fighter 2, The Ninja Warriors, The Ooze, Revenge of Shinobi, ToeJam and Earl 2, Panic on Funkatron, Truxton, Vectorman 2, Viewpoint, Virtual Racing, versus Puyo Puyo Sun, and Warsong. All told, I think there's 60 games plus a couple of bonus games. Alright, so we have a couple of settings here that we can change. First of all, you can go to Recently Played and change it by release date, change it to alphabetical or reverse alphabetical, genre, number of players, CDs first, that's cool, but I think I'll stick to A to Z alphabetical. Then we can go over here to settings and see what we got in here. Please read this before playing. That's alright. How about game settings? Screen settings. Okay, we can change the stretchy screen if we want, which should just be set to normal. That's how it should look. And we can change our wallpaper settings. Oh, we got a couple of wallpapers this time. I kind of like this blueprint one. Sega World. Just like a TV bezel. Another TV bezel. Purple Genesis stuff. And probably the one that I'm going to use is black. And then we got the sound settings. If you want it to sound like the original Sega Genesis, you can have it sound that way. I think the original Genesis had a little bit richer sound. Or if you would prefer the tinny sound of the Genesis 2, you can go with that. But I think I'll just go with the original. And then the mode button setting, quick open, hold for 1 second, hold for 3 seconds, or off. We'll just leave it to quick open, and that is for the menu when you want to back out. Alright, so considering that the Sega Genesis Mini 2 will play Sega CD games, let's go ahead and start with that game first. And we could choose between the US or the European version. We'll just stick with the US version. I see that it has the standard Sega CD intro, that's pretty cool. And here we are playing Sonic CD. We can do the spin dash, of course. And jumping up into that, I guess if I'd have done the little past or future thing, I would have gone to the past or future there, but I don't even know how to do that in this game. There's that past thing, I guess if I hit that and go super fast, I go to the past. I mean, I guess if you like Sonic, you like Sonic CD, then, you know, this game will work for you. Alright, so now if we hit the mode button, we should be able to go back into the main menu. And that took a little bit longer than I thought it should. Alright, here, let's go ahead and try the 6-button wireless controller. I'll plug in my little dongle here. And we got the little red light telling me it's connected. Alright, let's try a little virtual racing. I always thought that intro was kind of cool. And if we hit some of the buttons on the 6-button controller, we can switch to the different views. I kind of prefer this view up above here like this, so we can kind of see everything that is coming at me, except the road, because I'm always crashing into the road. Always kind of hoped that Checkered Flag on the Jaguar would have been at least as good as this, but Sadly, they didn't have the same programmers that Sega did. Alright, here's Night Trap, the game that everybody's going to play as soon as they get the Genesis 2, although they're going to be like, what the heck am I doing with this game? Because it's kind of confusing what you need to do. I've never honestly been able to figure it out. So you're supposed to hit the trap button, but you have to be on the right color, and I could never get the right color for these guys. How are you even supposed to know what the color is? See, these guys are in the bathroom. I guess wait for that girl to show up. But I can't trap them. I'm hitting all the buttons and it's not working. I hate this game. And here's Populous, which is kind of a strange choice to be on a mini console. I mean, I guess if I had a mouse, it'd probably be a lot better, but it's very difficult to play this game with a joypad or, you know, regular controller. I have no idea what that thumping noise is. But the easiest way to play this game is just to raise up the land and then lower it one notch. And you want to flatten it out as much as possible so that you can gain as much mana as possible. And here I'm going to run a little earthquake on my enemies and mess them up. Take that, suckers! Alright, here's Outrun. Kind of surprised that this game did not appear on the Genesis Mini 1. Oh, crashed. Alright, let's give Space Harrier 2 a try. Now, this game is a little bit special because, as you can see, the release year is 2022. We can choose between Space Harrier 2 or regular Space Harrier. But what they've done is recoded this game so that it is much smoother. As you can tell by the scaling of the objects, it's much smoother. The only problem is the flickering gets pretty bad. But what I'm curious to know is, if we could extract the ROM off of this thing, could we play this on a real Sega Genesis? And then here's Space Harrier 1 that's also been redone. That scaling is just so smooth. But yeah, oof, that flickering is terrible. And here we are playing Super Street Fighter 2 with that good old 6-button controller, and it works fantastic. Ow, 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 ow. Stop hitting me on the head. Take that. Take that, stretchy arm guy. Ugh. Always have to finish this level as quick as possible because the elephants are so annoying. Alright, here's a game called Versus Puyo Puyo Sun. I've always been a big Puyo Puyo fan since I learned about Kirby's Avalanche on the Super Nintendo. But I couldn't figure out how am I supposed to play with an opponent in this game. Alright, here's the Ninja Warriors, a Sega CD game. At first, I didn't think I was going to like this game, but it's actually pretty enjoyable. Kind of reminds me of Kung Fu or Bad Dudes, maybe. I like the background here, but it's, I don't know, it seems a little dull, not very colorful. And then these guys definitely remind me of the boss from Bad Dudes, but they killed me pretty quick. I guess I should have used my hair. Alright, here's Sylphid. This is a neat game because it's all full motion video in the background. That right there is full motion video, but it's so clean. And the gameplay it's fun, but the real appeal of this game is the backgrounds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, the Roger Young is down. Oh, they totally blew it up. Alright, here's Final Fight CD, one of the big standouts on this mini console, in my opinion. The music is just so beautiful. And the gameplay is great. The only downside is the colors are a little bit off, and it's a little bit grainy on the graphics. And I don't think they have as many characters on the screen as the arcade, but you know, that's okay. Still, I would have loved to have this game back in the day. Although there is a homebrew programmer who's doing a Sega Genesis version of Final Fight, and I played the demo. It's pretty dang good. Tell me where Mr. Big is. Oh no, you died first. Oh well. Alright, we'll go ahead and jump out of this. Alright, so there's one more test that I want to do, and that's to try the 3-button controller on the Mini 2 and see if it works. Or it works unless you plug it in 3 times. And it looks like it works, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so I guess I'll try a little Truxton with the 3-button controller. And we can do either standard background music or arcade background music. I guess I'll do arcade. Pressing start button. Okay, that works. Let's do easy, because I'm an easygoing kind of guy. Okay, we can fire with the A button. We could drop a bomb with the B button. And we can do rapid fire with the C button. So yeah, that all works. Oh, you thought you'd sneak up behind me, huh? Oh no, 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 bomb! Oh man, I just saved myself. I don't know, I think if I had to choose between Musha and Truxton, I don't know, I think Truxton's a better game. Musha's good, it's just so long. It just seems like it goes on forever. At least you get a little bit more variety with Truxton here. Plus, I'm more comfortable flying in a spaceship than flying in a suit. Ah! Alright, so let's get out of this. So we're going to hit the Start, A, and C button. That should bring me to the menu. Yeah, if you just hold down the Start button, it'll take you back to the menu. Which is not as convenient as hitting the Mode button, though. Or the Select button on the other wireless controller. Alright, let's cap this off with a little Streets of Rage 3. Using the 3-button controller. Fortunately, this is a game that works perfectly fine with the 3-button controller. Not quite as good as Streets of Rage 2, mostly because of the music, but still, this is a pretty good game. Think you're gonna knife me from behind? Oh, I guess you're right. Alright, let's try something crazy here. I'm gonna go into the settings, change my language from English to Japanese, and hope I can get back to English again. And now we have the Japanese set of games on here. And a couple of different games, I think. There's Tatsujin, which is the Japanese version of Truxton. A couple of differences here. There's Rolling Thunder 2. But the one I wanted to look at was the one we were just playing, which of course was Bare Knuckle. And they say this version of the game is better than Streets of Rage 3. I guess it's a little bit easier and probably has better music. Can I just walk out to the exit? I'm just gonna leave. Alright, so Bare Knuckle for the Japanese Mega Drive. Is it any better than the Sega Genesis version, the North American version? Let me know. I'll see if I can change the language to something else. Okay, that's Japanese. That should be English. Okay, we could do... I don't know, what else would have different sets of games, maybe? French? Well, I don't think that's going to do anything. Italian? Ooh, that looks different. Wow. I like the background. That's This looks pretty cool. I don't know if the set of games are any different though. Ooh, look at that Sonic CD cover art. That's pretty interesting. Alright, well there we go. I only showed a few games this time, but you know, if you want to look up the other games, then YouTube is a pretty great resource for looking up game footage for all these other games. Alright, well there you have it. There's my mini review of the Sega Genesis Mini 2. What do I think about this system? Well, did it really need to happen? Did we need another Sega Genesis Mini when we already have the Mini 1 and it's already a great system? I mean, the problem with this one is that it doesn't have a lot of the classics on there. It doesn't have Sonic 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't have Streets of Rage 2. It doesn't have Mortal Kombat on there, or Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, it does have 62 games, I think it is. And yeah, they're okay. I like that they redid Space Harrier and made the graphics a little bit better. Hopefully we can pull the ROM off and play it on a real Sega Genesis. And yeah, it had some Sega CD games on there that, you know, nobody really likes. Who's gonna play Night Trap? I mean, it's an oddity, if nothing else, but nobody's really gonna play Night Trap or Sewer Shark. Maybe Final Fight. Final Fight is definitely a bonus, I'll give you that. But when you can hack a Mini 1 and put all the same games on there as the Mini 2, I just don't see the benefit of having the Mini 2. Unless you just like collecting stuff. Alright, so that's my review of the Sega Genesis Mini 2. Do you really need this thing? I would say only if you are a collector and you are unwilling to hack a Genesis Mini 1. Hopefully they'll be able to hack the Mini 2 as well in the future, and if so, I'll probably have a video about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.